We live?
Yep.
What's up, everybody? This is Pastor Ian from the church at Bowie, from Winning Souls Evangelistic Church, and I'm out here with my main man Derek. I just met Derek. We just came out of Radio 1. Just wanted to just talk to just different people about just church, their experiences at church, and just kind of see where they're at. And I was talking to Derek, and Derek shared some interesting stuff with me as it relates to church, and not just Christian church, but just different things that he's experienced. And I just kind of wanted him to share a little bit with you all about some of the things that he's experienced, and the reason why he would even allow me to talk to him, and maybe even take a chance and say, you know what, if you start in the church, I'll come out there and check you out just to listen a little bit. I'm not promising anything, but I may come out and check. So I just wanted y'all to hear from Derek a little bit. So Derek, just tell them some of the experiences and stuff that you had with church.
I feel like, in a sense, overall, people preach on prosperity and, a better life, but at the same time, we don't talk about what is on a daily, day-to-day life and what it takes in order to be a true spiritual individual through, the Word of God. Mm-hmm. So my thing is that it's not necessarily whether you're Christian, Muslim, or whatever. It's more so about who you are, knowing yourself in order to be able to know God on a deeper level. Right. So that way, when you're going through the daily life, you can actually relate.
Right.
We're not in the way that we try to relate with people. Like, I feel like when church groups or like YPD or things like that, where you try to get young people involved, people try to make hip hop music geared to God or things of that sort. You can't do that, because at the end of the day, you're just patronizing what they're used to. So they're not taking in what you're saying, they're just feeling like you're disrespecting what they're used to. So you're not relating, you're just creating more distance. Right. So that's why a lot of people, especially a lot of young people, don't want to come to church, because at the end of the day, it's not something that they feel relatable. They feel like the teachings are so old that it's not on a day-to-day scale. Right. So the things that people are teaching are not being broken down to the point of where it actually relates to day-to-day life. Right. So that's why I feel like, for me, since I have a little bit of knowledge, I can make that grow more so when I'm around people that just can relate or have a deeper mind on the issues. It's on different things that we talk about.
It's almost like it almost seems like we're not relevant as a church. Not that God's word isn't relevant, right. But it seems as though it's not relevant to us if as preachers and Christians we don't make it relatable to what we're going through. Like you and I know, all of us are going to prosper in some way, but everybody ain't going to prosper in being rich. Right. I may be rich and have bad health. You know what I'm saying? You may have good health, but you may be poor at the same time.
And I could be very wealthy in my knowledge and wisdom, but at the same time be broke in all my pockets.
Right. What kind of things you think that the church could do to be more relatable? Obviously, the way the preaching and teaching comes across the pulpits, like we can't, we can't be preaching up in the clouds, and all of us got to live here on earth.
But see, the thing is that you got to think about it from the standpoint of like how Martin Luther King, like Malcolm X, how they made it personable with people. Like, when people feel like you love them, then they're gonna be able to understand what you're saying on a more deeper level than what is just being said. So it's just like when you come to your house, everybody knows each other's name, everybody knows who you are. So it's just like when you come to church, everybody should know who everybody is, even when a new person comes in. Not saying, oh, you just single that person out, but at the same time, once they walk in those church doors, it should be like, hey, how are you?
Regardless of who you are, what your orientation is, what you look like. Right.
So that's what makes the difference, is that in itself. That's the foundation.
Right.
Then on top of that, the way after you start implementing that, that's going to start implementing everything in the character that is being brought into it. So that brings a different viewpoint. Then on top of that, since it's a non-denominational church, that's where it really should start. Because honestly, like you're pretty much saying that we accept all diversity. no matter what your situation is.
Right. Jesus did. So
Right.
like, why should we
can't
be any different? Yup.
Right.
And we, church is famous for saying like, we're a hospital for the sick, but depending on how bad the sick look, we don't mind putting the sick back out in the street.
Right.
Whereas in most hospitals, emergency rooms, it doesn't matter what your issue is, what your illness is. Our job is to bring you in, and
Right.
you ain't leaving until you feel better. And the church should do a better job of that.
Right. Even like, you think about like community groups back in the day, like Black Panthers and things like that. So, a lot of times they get like bad rap because of like the rebellion. But at the same time, you think about what they did in the community, like giving, making sure people had health care, making sure low-income families had groceries in the house, making sure people got to the hospital, make sure they, were well. Make sure the community was well, so that way the community could be strong and be the backing to everything else around it.
And community. That's our word. Community, love. The church that I pastor and the church that I'm about to start, the church at Bowie, that's what we're all about. One of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you, now, you don't know me from Adam. I just came up from doing an interview. I told you I was a pastor, and I know you have concerns with the church. But I think what fills my heart is the fact that you're willing to have a conversation with me, because I believe that you feel compassion, you feel love. We don't know each other from Adam, but that doesn't mean we can't have a conversation. We can't show love and just try to get this thing together as it relates to church. Let me ask you this. Again, you don't know me at all, but you live here in D.C. or where you live at?
I live in New Carrollton.
You live in New Carrollton?
Close.
Would you, just based on our initial interactions, and just let you know a little bit of what we do, the community service, all the stuff you mentioned is stuff that we already do. It's very untraditional. It's a non-denominational church. Would you come out and visit me just to come out and see what we're about and what we were doing?
I possibly would do that.
And if you came out and you enjoyed it, because it's already in your heart to really love on people and do the community service thing, would you mind getting your hands dirty and helping uplift communities and feed people and clothe people and stuff like that?
I already do that on a regular basis. So
yeah. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? In a setting under the banner of this is who we are as a church, because the church, because of the prosperity generation, it got into what we can get and what we can consume and the services we can have. We give our money because we're saying that if I give my tithes and offerings, God's going to make me rich. And I think we stop serving. Think about it.
No. The only reason why I give my tithes and offerings is because I'm just giving things back to God because He did something for me.
What did He do for you? What's the greatest thing He ever did for you?
He gave me life.
He gave you life. Well, he gave you life
with wisdom and tail with it. So at the end of the day, I can walk this earth and know what the heck is going on and make adjustments when the struggle comes about.
Yeah. Now,
so that's the thing. Like a lot of times, I think the thing is that we think God is going to do everything, but He just set it up so that way we have free will to make the right decision.
Right.
So we have to put in that work. That's why He said in the Old Testament, I can't remember the book because I'm not going to quote that, but at the same time, I know for sure we're going to work until we return back to dust. So we got to work every day until, like, giving 110%. Like we want to get to the points that we want to be in life, being rich, being wealthy, but at the same time have those attributes that Christ has implemented in the world. So that's the difference.
Yeah. You believe in Jesus?
I already believe in Jesus.
That's my man.
But I'm not going to say I'm a Christian though, because I'm not a Christian.
You're just a Christ follower.
Right.
Whatever He says do, you do.
I do.
My man. Look. But look, I'm serious about that. We can exchange information and stuff when we're down here, but by you being in New Carrollton, ain't far from where we are at Glendale, I'd love for you to come out again. Regardless of what you saw in the past, of the age of church or anything, just come and see for yourself that there's still churches out there that are still trying to be the hands and the feet of Jesus. Touch the people that don't want to be touched, talk to who society says you shouldn't talk to, and just really be about loving on people, bringing them in and just showing them the love of Christ, man. We can make that happen. That's my man. Yo, Derek, what's your last name?
Lott.
Derek Lott? Yo, that's Derek Lott. And we'll see y'all later. Pastor Ian, Derek Lott, the Church of Bowie, June 14th. We love you. Talk to you later.